Welcome back to another episode of Akau TV, here hosted with Espionage. So last week we had a really good week with 5 winners, 3 at Matamata and 2 yesterday there at Riccarton. So the 3 winners at Matamata, Bolly Bell, really good effort, great ride by Hayley. She jumped away a little bit slowly, she recovered well, and it was really good to see her go back to back on a track that probably didn't suit her. She went on a really nice surface there at Wanganui, and we just thought being the first race she would get through it, and she did. And then obviously Lara Antipova, just wow, incredible filly going forward, really exciting. Opie led them up. She found a really good kick on ground that she definitely wasn't comfortable on. She's very exciting going forward. And then My Lips Are Sealed, a filly that we knew would handle the track conditions, and she got away with some cheap sectionals with Rory Hutchings. It was a great ride, and she was very strong, and it was a race that I know Dave, Karen and Mark really wanted to win, the Lisa Chittick Champagne Stakes, so to win that race was very special to them, and she looks like a mare going forward that can continue to pick up some black type races and be very valuable. Looking ahead to this week, got one meeting on Saturday there at Ellerslie, and then we've got runners at both meetings on Sunday at both Taupo and Wanganui. Ashburton, we start off in race 4. We've scratched Baldemond as she raced on Wednesday at Riccarton, so we'll have the 2 runners in Kuazarine and Maricopa Falls. Kuazarine is a really lovely filly. She ran really well last start to run 3rd in a stakes race. She's continued to impress us since then. The 1200 metres is going to suit her. She'll roll forward. She'll give a really good sight. Maricopa Falls, a filly that has a lot of potential. She's probably just had a bit not go her way, immaturity issues, draws, bad tracks, but she's a horse that will enjoy the 1200 metres around Ashburton. Will look to be positive from the draw with her. Expect a really good performance. And then we move to race 5. Mal Mason was really good in open grade last time out. His form line doesn't read that well. He hasn't been that genuine this season, but the ability's there, and Hunter and the team are really happy. And back to 75 grade, from a low barrier, he should be very competitive. Then we move on to race 6, High Roller. Steps up to 2200 metres for the first time. We think will really help him, being a son of Ace High. He should get the trip. He's had plenty of time to get over that last start there at Riccarton, where he was very good. And we're very happy with the progression he's made. He's drawn a nice barrier to stay out of trouble, and Hayley Hassman's claim is ideal. And then we move on to the last race. We have 2 runners presented to run there, Cool and Fast and Celtic Bling, both very honest and genuine horses. Cool and Fast probably hasn't had the rub of the green in his last 2, but he's trained on well. The team are really happy with him. And Celtic Bling, she's so honest, she never runs a bad race, and expect to see the same again there on Friday. Then we move to our premier meeting there on Saturday at Ellerslie Oaks Day, a race day we've been really looking forward to, and we kick off the day with an exciting runner having his first start and seize the day. He's an I'm Invincible colt. David purchased at the Magic Million sale to be part of our 2-horse colt partnership, and he's really shown us a lot of potential. He's drawn a nice barrier there on Saturday. He should be able to lob into a good position, and if he can bring his trial form, he should be a very competitive chance. Move to race 3, Dream of the Moon, a filly that's going really well. Well, she's a mare now. She's been very competitive in some really strong races. She's come back well as a 4-year-old. Expect to see a much similar performance to what she's shown us in her first 2 runs back. Then we move to the Uncle Remus Stakes, 2 really good contenders there. Belle Cheval was very impressive. Karaka Million Night, we were meant to run her last Saturday here at Matamata, but with the wet conditions, she was forced to wait a week, and she's continued to impress us in training. Wide draw doesn't help her, but she's a very competitive leading chance in there. And To Bravery Born never runs a bad race. His racing pattern certainly doesn't help him getting back, and unfortunately we've drawn right and close, so he does map to end up in a niggly spot, but we're lucky enough we've got leading international rider and Ben Thompson aboard, who will be able to work his magic, and expect to see a really good performance by him there on Saturday. And then we move to the Avondale Guineas, race number 5, Towering Vision. He was very tough in the Waikato Guineas. We've dropped him back to a visor blinker. He just did not see Autumn Glory coming down the outside. He fought off Yamato Satono when it came up alongside, but he just wasn't able to see Autumn Glory come down right down the outside. So expect to see him race very genuinely in the Avondale Guineas. And then we move to race 6, the Otaki Weight for Age Group 1 mile. Kwali Alpha Russia ran second in the race last year. She finds herself in a very similar type of race again. She's drawn well. She's got an international rider and Ben Thompson aboard. She has a lot of things going her way. She may just find a couple of these a bit sharper over the mile, but she's working well. She looks terrific. Expect her to run a very genuine top 4. Then we move on to race 8, the New Zealand Oaks Born to be Royal. Look, her form line doesn't read pretty from her last start, but put a line through it, forgive her. She had a lot of things didn't go her way. So her work's been really good since. She worked on the course proper yesterday morning here at Matamata the reverse way. Couldn't be happier with her work. She's drawn a nice alley to map into a midfield position, and as long as she runs out the trip strongly, she should be right there. I'd say she'll be beating more home than what beat her. She's a very good filly on her day. And then we move on to the last race, Espionage. He's just a lovely, kind-natured horse. You would not think he's a bull. He doesn't have a bad bone in him. Obviously was very disappointing from what we thought would be a really big performance on Karaka Million Night, but he's trained on the right way since there. Finds himself in a very winnable race. The visor blinkers go on. He's taken to them very well in track work, so expect to see him bounce back there on Saturday. Then at Wanganui on Sunday, we have 2 runners, races 6. We have Altari, who, it ran really disappointing at Ellerslie last start, but his run in transit probably didn't help him, but he's trained on well. He looks good. Courtney Barnes takes the ride. He finds himself in a very winnable race. He was a horse that we late nominated for it, but we're really happy with how he presents. And then in race 7, we have Passion and Pride. Ran really respectively there last start, and the 2,000 metres is going to suit her. From a nice draw, she should be midfield with a bit of cover, and as long as she doesn't get held up like she did the other day, she should be right there in the finish. Then we move to the other meeting on Sunday there at Taupo. We've got a nice bunch of runners in there, but beforehand there is a group enlisted trial where we have 3 runners, Quintessa, He Who Dares and Lada Rada, so excited to see them step out there at the trials again. And we kick off in race 1 possibly with Passion and Pride. She is double accepted, but we'll just see where she's best placed to race on Sunday before making plans, but 1,800 metres would certainly suit her, and Craig Rules knows her very well. Then we move to race 3, a Satherbill gelding called Centurial that we've always had a lot of time for. He's been very immature and had a few problems along the way, but he presents well. His trials have been good. Expect to see a really good performance from him first up, and he should be hitting the line very strongly. Then we move to race 4, Carsolio. Very disappointing in playing at Ellerslie first up after a break, but he's trained on the right way. Blinkers on, back to a track that he won at. The 1,100 metres will suit him, and Hayley Hassman's claim is also key. So expect to see him forward in the running, and he should give a good sight. And then we go to race 6, Bellish Boy, a horse that ran really well and respectively there at Waverley, and he's trained on the right way. Opie gets on from a nice kind barrier. He'll get into a forward position and running, and he should be very competitive. Race 7, Captured by Love, the Group 1 winner, resumes after a freshen up after just being a little bit under par at Te Rapa, but she races really well, fresh, and she looks terrific. Expect to see a really good performance from her there on Sunday. And then in the last, we've got Crown Princess, a mare that's building up the right way, up to the 1,800 metres. We picked this race out for a long time ago, and she looks well. Her work's been good. Expect to see her right in the finish. Now she's up to 1,800. So that completes all of our runners this weekend here in New Zealand. A weekend we're really looking forward to. Some real exciting gallopers going forward. So watch the space, but my best bet would have to be Seize the Day in race 1 at Ellerslie. He's a very promising colt that we're really excited to see take place at the races.
Welcome to Te Akau TV Australia. We've got a busy couple of days ahead of us, kicking off at Terang Cranbourne on Friday, as well as a major black type card at Caulfield on Saturday for Boot of Diamond Deck. Can you please introduce us, Ben, who we've got here?
Yep, g'day guys. Welcome to this week's Te Akau TV. We have been a bit quiet lately, but we've been gearing up for a massive weekend with Blue Diamond Day. So we've got Miss I Am Aria here today. About to say the dam's name. She is in fine order, very happy and thrilled with the way she's built into this weekend. As you can see, the way she looks. We've got her peaking. She's very happy and chilled out here picking grass today, but her body condition, she's absolutely glowing, and we're thrilled to get her to the race in as good an order as she can possibly get to. So hopefully we can start the weekend right today.
So, kicking off the busy couple of days, we've got Shenandoah at Terang.
Yep, so she heads up there. We've got blinkers on her. She's obviously a 3-year-old filly owned by Seymour Bloodstock that won on debut, which we were thrilled. And then she probably just went missing second up, whether it was the ground too firm or it was a very competitive benchmark 64. So we've sent her up the road to Terang, albeit it's open company. We're hoping that back in grade, a weaker type of race will see her best. She jumps in barrier 2 with blinkers on, so if she can be quick away, which she has been in her jump outs in her first up run, hopefully she can settle on speed and show the ability she showed first up and get her back in winning ways. But Mark and I are really thrilled with her training, whether she was a little bit flat second up potentially, but she's certainly back to her best this week. Lovely gallop, looks great, eating well and ticks all the boxes, so hopefully she can head a long way up the road and get the winning weekend started.
Then tonight at Cranbourne, we've got Flash of Class, Tatahi Bay and Stage and Screen.
Yeah, really exciting night with some nice fillies as well. So we've got Flash of Class, who's back at the races after running down the straight in the spring. She certainly didn't disgrace herself that day. I think she finished 5th or 6th, but she was only a length and a half off them, and that, most of the runners out of that race have come out and won or are running in the Blue Diamond on Saturday. So the form around her is terrific. She jumped out really impressively. She just got run down late by Unit 5, I think it was, that runs in the Blue Diamond and is the Magic Moons winner. And then she also had Milson's Point. So 2 horses with really strong form. If she can jump from barrier 6, I think she comes into, and jump from barrier 6, put herself on speed. She's a very fast filly. Bring her back around here, Taylor. She's a very fast filly, and hope she can find the rail, dictate the race, and be too good for them. So I think she's a short price favourite. I think she's a short price favourite, and we're hoping that she can kick our night off. Then we've got Tatahi Bay in race 5. She's probably a filly. We're just trying to work her out a little bit. She's won a race over further distance, obviously, than 1,000, but she was so sharp in her first jump out that we thought we'll use this race tonight as her second one, keeping her fresh and seeing how she goes over 1,000 metres. So Craig Williams, who also rides Flash of Class, sticks with her, and we're hoping that fresh first up, she can run a cheeky race of over 1,000 metres. And then we've got Sage Screen in race 6, who was dramatically scratched at the barriers last start, but presented fine after the race, so she goes into tonight's race a short price favourite. She's got the outside draw, but we're thrilled with her. We think Airborne had a lovely jump out on Monday where she was strongly on the bridle, and she should be hard to beat tonight, to be honest. She will probably come across and either sit outside a leader or maybe even take it up, and we'll leave nothing to chance if she can have a cruisy time in front. She's ran very well at Cranbourne before, and she's probably our best for the night. So hopefully we can get 1, if not 2 winners there tonight at Cranbourne.
And moving on to Saturday, we've got a major day on the calendar with Blue Diamond Day. We line up with 3 Group 1 races, 2 Group 2 events and a Group 3. It's a strong hand and significant opportunity for the stable at the highest level. Yeah,
it's definitely probably our biggest day in the history of Jack out here in Australia and Cranbourne. Very excited, honestly, touch wood to tomorrow anyway, but all the horses have built up fantastically. Their work, all races into Saturday, have all been super, and they look great. So as you can see here with Iamaria, we've got a Bravo in race 4, the Autumn Classic. He won first up, and we might take it back to the box, and he won first up for the stable this preparation at Seymour, led them up, and probably wasn't suited very well. They had to sort of go a steady tempo, and he led them, who is a bit of a thinker, the horse. So I think on Saturday, hopefully we see him, with a bum to follow, and if he can be, one or two pairs back in a genuinely run race. It's certainly a race that's really even, albeit it's a group race. He deserves his chance, and I think he's going to eat 1,800 metres up. I think he's 20 or so to 1 in the market, but he's going to run a really good race. The horse looks amazing. All his recovery and data at home suggests to us that he's a 2,000 metre horse, and we're hoping that he builds into a Derby prep. And I think he'll certainly outrun his price on Saturday. So hopefully he can get the day off to a good start. We then have who's next one? Chateau Ez. So many runners on Saturday. Chateau Ez for John Camilleri. Look, she's airborne. She ran a super race first up in an 1,100 metre event that she definitely wasn't suited. So she steps out to 1,400 metres now, and we saw her last preparation second up off her maiden win, run second in a stakes race. So similar mould this preparation, but there is a very short price favourite in it from the Moody camp, who probably has some of the best 3-odd filly form around in the country, but we certainly think our filly's a top 2 chance, and if fitness is a query for the favourite, our filly's certainly going to be running on strongly and running a big race. So hopefully she can be in the top 2 and then springboard into nice spring races for fillies. Autumn races for fillies, whether it's in Sydney or Adelaide anyway. So we then head on to Damask Rose in race 6, who is a short price favourite. The favourite comes out of that race, Rote Daritaki, but she's probably our best for the day. She's going to jump from a lovely gate. Hopefully she can settle not too far away, and she'll need a little bit of luck to extricate off the rail and get out, but she's absolutely flying. She galloped really well on Tuesday. We're thrilled with the way she looks, and hopefully this can be her first group win in Australia, and then we can head on to bigger and better things. But yeah, Damask Rose ticks all the boxes, and can't wait to see her on Saturday. Then we head into the first of the Group 1 features, which is the Futurity. We've got Watch Me Rock, who is a recent acquisition of the stable from Grant and Alana Williams, who are still strongly involved with the horse, and we're really appreciative of the opportunity to have this horse in our stable. He's arrived in fine fettle. He looks rock hard fit, obviously coming off the preparation where he won the Group 1 Railway only in December, so he's got plenty of residual fitness. He's jumped out twice, and when Grant and Alana bring one over or tell their owners to bring one over, it's usually for a good reason. They're spot on the money. So in having to know this horse in a short period of time and communicating with Grant and Alana, they're thrilled with him, and I see he's been backed early. It's going to be a small field with probably not a lot of tempo, and he'll jump and put himself in the race, and he's got such a good first up record, such a good 1,400 metre record. This horse can really make his presence felt in Melbourne first up. So we think he's a very good chance off coming to know him from what Grant and Alana say. The next big one is I Am Aria in the Blue Diamond. She is absolutely flying. There's a lot of things that can go wrong for horses with 2 weeks between a Blue Diamond prelude and the big grand final. A lot of them can train off or be holding on by the skin of their teeth, but we think she has done nothing but thrive. She's, I think, 10 kilos lighter than her last run, and you can see she's rock hard fit. She's going to appreciate the step up to 1,200. She jumps from potentially barrier 4 or even 3, depending on scratchings and the move she's coming out. So she's lightning quick at the gates. We're probably going to try and find a backside. If she can find a bum to follow, we think that she's probably going to be a better filly chasing. And she just ticks a lot of boxes. We're thrilled with her work. The fact that Craig Williams is also stuck with her gives us a great vote of confidence. He probably could have ridden the favourite or a number of other horses in the race, and he chose her with the upside she has. So really excited. The staff have done a wonderful job getting this filly all the way to the Blue Diamond on her first racing preparation. So hopefully they're rewarded with her running a big race. And yeah, we certainly think she's a top 4 chance. And if she happens to run top 3 and be Group 1 placed as a 2-year-old, she's an extremely valuable broodmare, and she's only going to improve into her 3-year-old season. So she'll have a really exciting future no matter what. And then we look to finish the day in the Group 1 Oakley Plate. Gigi's Miss Truth, who she's absolutely flying this mare. She jumped out a couple of Mondays ago off the back of her first up run, and she probably should have won that. And she comes in probably even a shorter price favourite. So a shorter price, I should say. So her jump out was visually really impressive. It's certainly the best piece of work, let alone jump out, she's ever done. And Laura, who rides every day, just says she's flying. She galloped on Tuesday morning over at the course proper, and she could barely pull her up. So she heads into this race peaking, even though it's a second up run. And barrier 1 is probably not the perfect position for her, but look, she's going to have to hope for a lot of luck. And all I know is that if it comes and she gets the gap at the right time, she'll be absolutely bursting through it. So we're hopeful if luck's on our side by then, and hopefully we're heading into that last race with full of confidence that our horses have run well, and she can finish the day on a high. So yeah, really exciting day for everyone. As I said about the staff, everyone's worked so hard, done all the 1%ers across the T's and dotted the I's, and we couldn't be more thrilled and excited with the team we have heading to the races today, and tomorrow. So best of luck to all our owners and the team at home and in Australia, and hopefully we've got some exciting wins to celebrate come Saturday night.